basically. And to do this, there's a shortcut that you can do. And here are the main shortcuts you have on CapCut that you need to know. This is crucial for you. Okay, so here are the main shortcuts I use in CapCut. So there's number one, which is if you click on V, it's going to make it's kind of deactivating the layer, so it's no longer visible. It has no effect and nothing. So either any kind of layer, whether it is a video, image, or effect, or text, or audio or music, whatever it is. So these are mainly the main layers you're gonna have. So you have video, image, effect, and you have filter, and you have text, and you have audio. So these are the main layers that you can have on the timeline. So obviously here we have two layers of video. Okay, so if I click V back, it's going to activate it. If I click V again, it's going to deactivate it, right? So it goes both ways. Now, the next shortcut you want to know is by clicking on Command B, right? So if I click on Command B, but first of all, I need to select the layer, okay? So if I want just this first few seconds of the video, okay? Let's reactivate the file right here. So let's say I only want the first 3 seconds of the file in the video. So I can't have it all like this, right? So what I'm gonna need to do is gonna go 3 seconds in, right? And need to cut it, okay? And there are multiple ways to cut it, but my preferred way is to use a shortcut. You can cut it just by clicking on here, and as you can see, the shortcut is right below it. Split, Control plus B, okay? Or you can click on Q, which deletes left, and W to delete right. So let's do Q, and as you can see, we did cut it from here and we deleted the left. Now to undo this, let's say you made a mistake, you didn't want to do this, but you made a mistake. You can either click on undo here, this one right here, or you can click on Control Z, okay? Knowing shortcuts is gonna be a very crucial part to you being a newbie that doesn't know anything, or to being an intermediate, or even an advanced editor, as it will increase your speed in editing videos. Okay, so you want to know these shortcuts. They're very, very important, and I'm gonna share with you all the main ones that you need to know. You don't need to know every shortcut in the world. These are the main ones that you need to know. So we have the next thing is we can do Control B, which will allow me to cut it right here, and I still can like basically move it like this, so, and kind of make it smaller. But if I want to just get rid of it, I can just click on delete on the keyboard, boom, and it's gone. Okay, so now we have just the first 3 seconds. Next shortcut that I use is Control C, which you probably use in other things as well, which is you just do Control plus C. You move a little bit, maybe you can say where you want, or you do or you want to go somewhere else, or you can. So now to paste it, you just click on Control V. This is very well known, especially if you use PC mostly. It's very known shortcut in everywhere by copying text or anything else. Okay, so now we're just gonna delete this layer right here, and we're going to move on with the next shortcut. Okay, this next shortcut, which I use a lot now, that's it's something we're gonna be showing you something a little bit more advanced here, but it doesn't matter. So it's very basic. So I'm going to text. Okay, click on text right here at the top. Default text. I did add it to the timeline. If I move a little bit forward, I'm gonna see text on the timeline. Now I'm just showing you this to show you what the shortcut does and what we can and why we do those shortcuts anyway. So let's say I'm going to write a CapCut editor. Okay, so as you can see, CapCut editor. You can go here. Let's pick a font. Basically, I'm going to discuss all the details here. You're going to become a CapCut master by the end of this course. Okay, so now we have this right here. So a very, very big shortcut that will elevate your video editing skills simply by just applying it in your videos. So just click on Alt plus G, and there you go. And this text layer turned or became a compound clip. Okay, what is a compound clip? Compound clip is basically like a project, a little small project inside of our project. For example, I can double click on this, and I'm gonna go here, and here I can just change the text or change the animation, which we're gonna get back to this. This is a little bit more advanced. It's still very simple, but it's a little bit more advanced. But I'm going to explain. So this is basically what the shortcut does. It turns like basically a text to a compound clip, or let's say for example we have multiple layers on top of each other. Let's say we want to add them all together like this, like so. Like so for example, we have these three layers on top of each other. Let's say we want to combine them together. Okay, so you can click on Control G, and now they're just one compound clip. Okay, and they're all on top of each other. As we're gonna go through this course, you're going to learn more, and you're gonna know basically what's the point of doing this anyway. Like you now maybe you'll be like, well, why would I want to do this anyway? Which you will know why in a later on in this course. But this is just important. You're gonna need this later on. Okay, so just write it in your notebook or whatever, and we're gonna get back to this later. Okay, so I'm just going to delete these for now, and we're going to go forward with our next shortcut. Okay, and this is probably these are like the main ones. There's probably just one that's left for me that I use, and that is if we have a keyframe. Okay, which we're gonna get back to later on. Now we don't know what keyframe is, and we're going to discuss what keyframes are. But let's say I'm just gonna add a couple keyframes. I'm gonna click on transform. Now we have added a keyframe. Now I'm gonna just move this a little bit. All right. Go back to video, and I'm gonna move this a little bit like so. Now we added another keyframe on the timeline. Okay. So what you can do actually is basically you can click on Alt K, and this is gonna open. Okay. This is another shortcut that you're going to be using a lot. So I'm showing you basically all the main shortcuts that you want to know. Okay, and these are gonna help you basically become a CapCut video editing master, and you can have people pay you for this stuff. So basically what this does is basically allows us to manipulate how the movement. So basically, okay, so just a brief explanation. Keyframes is basically, let's say at this point of time, this certain point of time, let's say in 4 seconds 0.05, as you can see here, it is in this position. Now in this 5.4, 5 seconds in, 5 seconds in, now we did move it here. So basically what keyframes allow you to do is make a movement or make changes, and you kind of let it happen the way you want it to be. So let's say in 4 seconds I want it to be here, in the 5 seconds I want it to move on its own. I don't have to move it, so it moves on its own. So what does Alt plus K does is opens this panel, which allows us to kind of ease the keyframe. So in between here we can use it like so that makes the movements more smoother than what it is basically. So to do so is to select both like so, and then you can go here. We have linear, auto curve, and free curve. These are like the pre ones we have. Let's go with just auto curve. Now they're gonna make it so. We're going to go into this more in depth later on, but for now I just want to show you all the shortcuts that you need. Okay, I mean the main ones that you need, and they're not so many, maybe like 5 or 6 maybe max. So we have Control C, Control V to copy and paste. We have Control B to cut the layer in whichever position you want. We have Q to delete the layer. So for example, we have the layer here. I want to delete this half on the left. Click on Q, so it deleted the half on the left. We have Control Z to undo what we've done before. We have Control W to delete, for example, here the the right side of the layer. Okay, so we do Control D, and it deleted the first side of the layer. Instead of doing Control B to cut the layer and then deleting the second half of the layer, you can just do you can just do W to delete the right half, and Q to delete the left half. Okay, all right. I know there's so much information, you might be a little bit overwhelmed, so you might have to watch this a couple times to get this. So because you're getting so much information all at once, so you might want to consider like rewatching this video later on, or maybe go apply those shortcuts yourself so you know what they exactly do. Okay, this is, as I said, in the video, like the course is basically for beginners to learn, and all the way it makes sense in how you going to kind of use this in your video editing when you're editing videos, and you're gonna know what you can do with each one of these. Okay, so I'm going to do click Control Z, so just to undo everything I've done. Okay, here, and as I said, undo to create a compound clip. You have Alt G, and to undo is Control Z, and to what else left? And to see keyframes on the layer, you have Alt K, and that's pretty much it. That's the main ones I use, and these are the main ones you're going to be using as well.